It's one of the reasons that resilience is so necessary. And resilience is something that really we should be working on all the time. And it's the one thing that we call on when times are tough, but also the one thing we don't prioritize when things are going well. Because let's face it, when we're happy, when things are going easy in our life and turning out as we planned and there's no major crisis on the horizon, it's pretty easy to be happy when life is good. But we know that that's not always the case. Good and bad come and go. It's the rough and smooth of life. It's the ebb and flow. It's how life is. Things don't always turn out how we planned. We lose things that we love. We have something good and that changes. But the reverse of that is also true. We get tough times and they pass too. But in our modern world, we are so obsessed with avoiding the bad and chasing after the good and clinging to that when we get it, that we often forget the laws of life, that all good and bad come and go. And happy people, it's not that they have perfect lives. They make the best of everything rather than having the best of everything, because we all get tough times. And I used to think that if I avoided all unhappiness, I'd be happy by default, and that must be the recipe. But it is impossible for us to avoid any bad thing ever happening in our life, because let's face it, we will all get sick and die at some point, unfortunately. We'll lose people we love and life won't turn out how we planned. But there'll also be some amazing things along the way, some things that do turn out how we planned. It's why resilience is so critical and why we need to learn to roll with the punches, to take the tough times as they come and bounce back from them. And that's our resilience. And of course, the irony is that when we're looking at building our resilience and we're busy, it's the one thing we don't prioritize, and that's when we really need it the most. And it's no good waiting until the tough times hit to then draw on our resilience unless we've spent time building it while the weather has been fine. And it's a little bit like a tree. So a tree will grow strong roots when the weather is fine, so that when a storm hits, it can stand strong and weather those storms. And we're the same. If we're building our strength and our resilience while the weather is fine, when the storms come in our lives, then we'll be better equipped to deal with them and bounce back from those tough times and challenges. As the Vietnamese Zen monk Thich Nhat Hanh says, the art of happiness is also the art of suffering well. And in his book, the title, No Mud, No Lotus, the lotus grows from the mud, and sometimes we have to experience those tough times to be able to grow into the people that we're capable of being and to learn the lessons that we need to build that strength. Resilience is less about what happens to us because we can't always control that, but what we do have control of is how we react to it.